Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about the patch notes of this update because as you guys know, we had an extended maintenance, 21 hours, so what on earth did they add into the game? But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So before we jump into the patch notes itself, there are several campaigns that are going on right now. As you can see, there's the team up campaign, the AC purchase campaign, as well as the great bargains in the SG shop. And on top of that, we also do have a new AC scratch. So we're just going to go over each campaign really quickly before we dive into the patch notes. So the first one is the team up campaign. This one's relatively simple. Just join an alliance and you get the rappy song accessory, which is the musical notes that sit on your head. It's very, very nice. Think of the rappies when they idle, they start singing randomly. It's literally that, but it's an accessory that you can just pop on your head. Very, very nice. But more importantly is there's going to be a bunch of limited time tasks which reward you with N color change passes, star gems, as well as other items. So when you log in today, make sure to check your limited time task, and when you have time, make sure to complete them. But if you don't have time to do all of them right now, don't worry, this campaign lasts for a whopping 2 months, so you have plenty of time to finish everything. The next campaign is an AC purchase campaign. This one's the same as usual. You buy a bunch of AC and you get a bunch of rewards over here, or a bunch of freebies. So if you purchase $120, you get an NEX EXP earn plus 50%, the NGS tote bag, as well as the Puffy Sunny. So these are the little accessories over here. You get a little bag over here, and you get this Puffy Sunny that you can just plop on your shoulder. Very, very cute stuff. And the last campaign is of course the great bargains in the SG shop. Now this is not worth it. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. It's not worth the 700 SG because all you're getting is a Mastery 4 S capsule, as well as an Aegis Soul 4 S capsule, as well as 3 24-hour plus 50% EXP boosts. This is not worth it at all. Please do not waste your star gems on this. Save your star gems for the scratch that's coming out, because the SG scratch is going to be a lot more valuable than this, because I'm sure a lot of you guys want to cosplay as a Slayer, because there's really cool Slayer looking costumes coming out on the SG scratch. Now other than these campaigns, of course, we do have the new story. So please make sure that you complete the story first before you do anything else, because NGS is the type of game where it locks content behind the story. So you want to complete the main storyline to unlock all the features, so you have access to all of the newest content. With all of that being said, let us jump into the system updates. So there's a couple system updates. The first one is going to be regarding PSE burst with the transport truck defense trials. So everyone's experienced this in a combat zone. There's a truck that comes in and you got to defend it against like 3 different waves. Well, now when you complete the transport truck defense, it is guaranteed to increase your PSE gauge by 2 bars. So if your PSE gauge is at 3 bars and you get the transport truck defense, just complete it and boom, you are guaranteed a PSE burst. So this is very, very nice. Now they've also hotfixed a couple bugs regarding Nuisance Plant. You know, when you complete a PSE burst and then sometimes it takes forever for an E or a T to pop up, and yeah, so they just fixed this, so it's really, really nice. Now moving down to the user interface, change certain content to show HP bars of boss enemies. So this is a really good change. It applies to Ordinal Tower, Geometric Labyrinth, as well as purple triggers. So I'm very happy that we can finally see the HP bars of the bosses, so we know how much damage we're dealing and if we're doing good or not. Now something new they added is auto switch lock on target option in the controls under options. So this is really nice because this is when you lock onto a boss's weak point, for example, and the moment you break their weak point, it's going to automatically target the boss's next weak point, which is really useful. In the past, you'd have to press Q or the auto lock on again in order to target the next spot, but with this option enabled, it's just going to automatically switch seamlessly, so that's really, really nice. However, the biggest change that I'm most excited for is going to be the critical damage highlight display under options. So now you have 3 different options over here. I'm going to be turning it to the orange version. So whenever you hit a crit, you get a bright orange number. It's going to be so much easier to know when you're actually critting or not. Another change that I'm very happy with is selected BGM in the Mag Jukebox feature now plays in Central City and other ARC spaces when Urgent Quest is ongoing. So this was pretty annoying. I would be listening, jamming out to whatever music CD that I had, and suddenly an Urgent Quest gets announced and you're forced to listen to the Urgent Quest music and you can't listen to your own music anymore, and it's just such a pain in the butt. Now this also applies to combat zones when you get a PSE burst as well, so it's going to be much better. Now another quality of life thing they've added is when you are previewing outfits and accessories and things, you can actually change the graphic settings of the preview window. However, this option only applies to PC users, unfortunately, Console players will not have this option, but you can now change it to high or highest in order to have the highest setting so that you can see all of the textures as well as the outfits and see if it's worth your hard-earned meseta or not. Another quality of life thing they added over here is now when you log in, and if you have any scratch tickets or selector tickets that are going to be expiring soon, there's actually a message that pops up telling you that, hey, you've got certain items that might be expiring soon, you might want to use them. So this is really nice because there's been so many times that I totally forget to use a scratch ticket, and it just kind of sits in my inventory forever, reminding me that, yeah, I was a dum-dum and I totally forgot to use it. So I'm glad that we are now going to be able to get this message every time we log in, just to be like, hey, you know, you should probably use your selector ticket now. And if that wasn't enough, they've actually added in expiration dates on the scratch tickets description. So when you're looking at your scratch tickets as well as your selector tickets, you'll actually see in the description when it expires. So again, this is a very good quality of life improvement. Now for my fashionistas out there, they've made the camera a lot easier to navigate when taking beautiful screenshots, especially with the zoom feature. So it's going to be a lot easier to get a lot of those close-up photos. So I'm very glad that they finally did this, because when it was by stages, it was quite the pain in the butt to get the perfect distance to get that perfect screenshot. The next quality of life feature they've added in is the add-on skills. It now reopens generate add-on skills after generating a skill. So this is going to be a lot easier, because add-on skills is a pain in the butt. I literally had to like smash 3 buttons over and over and over, but now you can just smash the enter key to keep re-rolling until you get the perfect one or the level 20 add-on skill. So this is going to speed things up a lot, but you're going to still be burning through the same amount of meseta, so just keep that in mind. They've also added a button to block or report symbol arts and players under the personal shop details. So if you do see something offensive, or you know, their description's kind of iffy, you can always block them or report them. Remember, blocking a player means that you won't be able to see their details, and if they try to talk to you or DM you or whatever, they won't be able to reach you. However, reporting them on the other hand sends a ticket to Sega, letting them know that, hey, this player is doing things that are breaking terms of service. Now the next thing I want to talk about are changes to several items or NPCs in general. So they are adding the exchange shop Slayer operation preparation ticket in the item trader. So you just talk to the item trader. This is the same guy that you talk to for your Aegis Integras. Now he just gets an extra option. That is the Slayer operation preparation ticket exchange. Now on top of that, with the Aegis Integras, you can now exchange 10 per week instead of 5 per week. So that is an increase. And then they also added the Gunblade to all of the exchange shops. So if you do want to pick up your Neo 8 Gunblade right now, you can do so. So even though the Slayer is not out yet till next week, you can still get their weapons. However, before you do that, just understand that the Gunblade has been added into the enemy loot pool, so you can start farming for high fixa Gunblades already, even though again the Slayer class is not out yet. Now they've also added new items from equalizing enemies. The new items I'm guessing is just going to be the NSL EX cube over here, which is the Slayer EX cube, because you can also get them from the item exchange Stia, again from the item trader. So I'm guessing you can farm for your Slayer EX cubes already. I just wonder if the add-on skills are available as well yet. So that's pretty interesting. Now for my OGs that have played the base game, make sure to check the Rising Weapon Badge Exchange Shop 5 in the base game, because they've added a bunch of weapon camos over here. So if there is anything that you want to pick up over here, you can use your Rising Weapon Badge 5s and exchange for any of these weapon camos and bring them into NGS. So this is really nice. Now on top of that, they've also added in the new storage, the Mission Pass storage. However, keep in mind, we will not have access to this until we get the new Mission Pass. So we have to wait until next week, where we get the new Mission Pass Season 19, I believe. And then in Season 19, there will be a ticket which will allow us to unlock the Mission Pass storage. Until then, we won't be able to use the storage because we don't have the pass to unlock it. Now they've also changed the chat command /CE all, and it now affects NPCs as well. For those who don't know what /CE all does, is when you're taking a screenshot, it makes all the characters on your screen look at the camera. However, it's just their eyeballs that are looking at the camera. However, they added an extra command over here called /CF, which physically moves your character's face or their head to actually look at the camera. So let's say that you only use CE all, you can make the character look down at the camera or look up at the camera, but it wouldn't physically move the character's head. However, with this new command, just /CF, you can now move the character's head and your character will actually face the camera, so you can get some really cool screenshots. So I'm very happy that they added this command, because it was a pain in the butt trying to get those perfect angles, especially when I just wanted a thumbnail, for example. Being able to simply tilt their head is going to be so much easier now. Now, another thing they added is you can now skip all of the main story cutscenes as long as you have completed it the first time. So when you create a second character or a new character, you'll be able to skip all of the cutscenes if you just want to blast through the story and just quickly get to endgame. So this is very, very nice. Now, if you really want to start farming for Slayer EX cubes right now, you can actually go to the training advanced Cannonball Rumble as well as Cannonball Strike and just start running this, and you will be able to get Slayer EX cubes. However, you could always wait till next week, and once the Slayer is released, it's going to be much easier to get a bunch of Slayer EX cubes. But you know, if you're super desperate and you really want those Slayer EX cubes right now, you can do so by farming this content. And last but not least, they have adjusted the rewards from Leah May's side task. So if you do need a lot of EXP, Leah May's side tasks are actually a viable way to get a ton of EXP right now. So if you are trying to level up a specific class, maybe you want to get all your classes to level 70, but you don't want to run through yellow triggers because you're saving that for your Slayer class or something, you can just use the Leah May side task in order to get a bunch of EXP. But that concludes the patch notes. As you guys probably noticed, I didn't cover every single thing. I just covered the main points. I will leave the entire patch notes in the description below so that you guys can read it for yourself if you want to. However, as this video goes live, the server should be online already, and you can bet that I'm going to be blasting through chapter 5 because I want to know what happens, and maybe, just maybe, we might get a new region or whatever is up there at La Ciel, and I can't wait to hear what your thoughts are. Sound off in the comment section below. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.